Alright, so I've beaten Doom Eternal. And oh my god. What the actual fuck is this game supposed to be? Like, Doom 2016, solid start. They got the fucking go up the elevator, hit just right, set the whole tone for the game. The I don't give a shit about the story, push the monitor away right at the start of the game. That told you everything you needed to know about Doom Guy, the world, and all that shit. This game, like, is forcing your... It's forcing the story down your throat. And it's doing it in a way that is... like... it's forced. Like, this could have... the whole game, all the cutscenes could have just been a YouTube video that you watch at the end. And that, like, might have made more sense. Or been, like, more fine. But, like, the whole, like, maker shit, con maker... like, the fact you have a space station now... like, I understand that you need, like, a base. That's fine. I could totally see that, like, a place to put all your collectibles and bullshit. I could totally be down with that. But, like, the game has no... it has no reason. The game has no reason with anything that it does. The story doesn't make any sense. The combat is, like, unnecessarily, like, annoying. It's annoying, but then also, like, on the medium difficulty, like, not that hard, except for the specific special demons that are purposely kind of hard. Or usually they're not even hard, they have some sort of mechanic that makes them annoying. Like, straight up from the start, like the cacodemons being able to be taken down by one of those grenade hits. The same with the spider demon thing, the turret on top of it. That just means it's formulaic. Every time you fight them, you basically have to switch to that because it's so much more powerful than any other gun you have. So you're not like doing you're not doing excellence of like, yes, I'm playing this game really good. It's math. You're just doing, okay, combat encounter. Here is Cacodemon. Okay, boost to get close to him. Then right click, left click into his mouth. Wait 2 or 3 seconds. Push the melee button. That is the combat encounter for that. And there is no reason to do any other style of combat encounter because it's just a bullet sponge. And then, like, with the bullet sponginess of everything, you have like 100 bullets in your pocket at any given time for every weapon. So everything is eating up all of your ammo. Some demons can't even be fought with a single like clip or a single like amount of ammo that you can have. And I have all the ammo. Like, I built towards having all the ammo because I needed it to be able to actually play the game. So then you're having to do the chainsaw maneuver, which, I mean, like, it's cool, but you can only do it for free or you can only do it basically on just the small enemies. So now you have to litter every combat encounter with small, worthless enemies that are either you don't fight them at all because you're just chainsawing them, or you don't, like, you just kill them by accident. Or they just use up a bunch of your bullets because you're just hitting them until you can melee kill them with either the punch or the chainsaw. So, like, they don't have to exist. So like, they're in a lot of combat encounters where they are not they are there specifically just as jars of like, they're just pinatas. That's all they are. They don't have any actual use other than the fact they are straight up just pinatas, and that's it. They don't make the combat encounter any more fun. They don't like, they're filler. They're the sawdust in your cereal. Like, they are just completely useless. And then like, a lot of the demon types are so focused on melee that they just run up to you and slap you. They don't have any actual use, like AI that's cool, like the imp AI where it like tries to run away and then like snipe you from a distance. Perfect. That's great. That gives that enemy a specific use in the encounters. And a bunch of the other enemies don't have it. Like the two weapon hand, the fat boy marauder, is that what it's called? No, that's the other guy we're going to talk about. I don't remember what all these demons are called because I don't care. But that guy, like, he basically just sits. He sits where he was and slowly moves towards you in a lot of cases. Like, he doesn't try and get away. He doesn't try and set himself up to be in an advantageous position. It's just, I am going to shoot at Doom Guy. That is my AI. And it's like, okay, cool. But that's not fun to fight. When there's the spider that does the exact same thing. There's two variants of that big fat motherfucker who just sits there, right? There's the heavy one and the normal one. Fighting them is basically exactly the same. The heavy one just has more HP. And like, you're supposed to like blow his armor off or something like that. But like, most of the time in most combats, you're just flailing trying to get a weapon with ammo in it to actually shoot. Which is, it feels like you don't know what you're doing through the entire game, because like, the game expects you to be able to manage all of these things. Wellist dudes are like going down your ass all day with swords. So like, having multiple weapons like that means that you're constantly going through your weapons and not knowing what you're going to get. Because you can't trust the weapon wheel, or you can't trust like the scroll wheel, or just like switching weapons, because you don't know what weapons have ammo and which ones don't at any given point in time. Which could be dealt with, like maybe with an on-screen thing, like on the left side that just has all your ammo types, like all your guns, and like, or just all your ammo types and how full they are, to be like, okay, here we go. As for ammo types, most guns have like most guns have like an ammo type that's shared with another gun. So you're running into cases where now you intend to use, say like you really like that R-Blast thing, which that weapon sucks. It's okay. It's not as good as the weapon that shares its ammo type, which is the plasma gun. So it's like, okay, here is, I need to use this specific thing for this specific enemy, and hey, yo, I don't have any ammo for it because I used it on all the other motherfuckers. So then, to solve that problem, in encounters, they put in more of those useless enemies. And those useless enemies, like the fodder, they're just there for pinata's sake and not actually adding to the encounter. So now you're just running around looking for fodder enemies so that you can slice them and then get your pinata stuff to go and fight the higher enemies. So like, what are you doing? You're not ripping and tearing through the enemies. You're, plucking out the ones you can actually use anything for. So it's the level design and all of the combat arenas are just bad. The game should not not be around platforming. It's like they didn't know how to put their combat arenas together to make a cohesive like world. So what they did is they just made it so there's no world in between them, and you just jump and hope that you see the place you're supposed to jump to and get there. And then the fucking wall climb thing where it's like, okay, here's the wall climbing. You're getting close to the wall. You're getting close. Can you grab it? Nope, you fell down to the floor. Or, yep, you grabbed it from like 30 feet away. And there's like no in between, basically. So like, hope that it works. Like, I don't know if in engine, like the box that the character model would go into is like not like that. The cube is not like a very far away from the wall, or like is it like animation locked? Like if you are in the middle of an animation, it won't actually like skip to the next animation or something like that. I don't know, but it feels bad. And mixed with all of the jump puzzles that don't need to be there, you're just making people frustrated and wasting their hit points. So you could roll into a new encounter, and the first thing you have to do is go hunt down one of those shitty bags of ammo and stuff, and get that, and hope that you find one before you get nuked and lose all your extra lives. As for the extra lives, all right. As for the extra lives, why do they exist? First of all, like, if you're putting them in the game, it must be because the combat encounters are hard, which is fine. The problem is, one, they don't reset when you straight up just completely die. So if the encounter is really hard and like someone is bad, right, they are now penalized by, or their hard work in collecting those extra lives is now thrown out because the extra lives are wasted. You don't get them back when you reload. So now someone who sucks at the game is now just stuck in a loop of get good, because like the things they collected to make the game easier on them vanishes the first time they use them and doesn't reload with the checkpoint. So why even have the checkpoint? Also, why does the game have to load after the checkpoints? Like, why isn't it dead? Checkpoint, go. Why? The game isn't that big that they couldn't load the level into like memory on a fast computer. As well as like the rune that gives you slowdown time when you die doesn't actually happen when you lose a life. So if you're using that rune as a crutch because you suck, because the game is hard, because the game is unfair with a lot of things, you're losing a life, and then you can get into a position where you can just instantly lose another one right away. Or you don't get your slowdown time back even after you got an extra life to replace the other life that you used. Like, it would almost be better before getting an extra life to die, reset it. Like, die at the nearest checkpoint, reset, get your slowdown time back, then get the extra life. Would be a better way to actually like play the game. And that's just straight stupid. Also, the rune system. I understand that it's supposed to like make it so you can customize your playstyle, but it looks like there are kind of runes that you would always want, and then after that, you don't care. Like, I use the same runes for most of the game and only switched when the game started to be like really fucking annoying about stuff. So like, why? Those should probably just be your suit upgrades, really. And then the suit upgrades, the pick 2 and get an ability / get ammo and stuff are dumb because they make it so that you, as a player, don't get the actual bonuses that they give, because you have to pick both of them, because you need to purposely use those to build towards HP and ammo. Specifically ammo. You could probably switch the HP out with armor if you're really good with the flame belch, but most people aren't going to do that because the flame belch is on a cooldown, whereas the HP is on, can you make a guy go flashing, which is relatively easy because there's pinata dudes all over the place. So like, you don't get many of those abilities until way late in the game, after you've gotten just the base HP and health or armor, the base ammo and HP stats that you are required to actually have to not instantly die in every level. Oh, a nice breeze came through the window just then. Ooh. What else? The levels, the weapons, the enemies. There are particular enemies, specifically the Marauder and all the bosses, that like are poorly designed. The Marauder specifically, because like a boss being poorly designed, it like that's fine. It's a boss fight. Okay, the boss fight can be a little weird, or the boss fight can be a little like uninspired. But when it's an enemy that appears all the time, as the Marauder does, the things that make it annoying are now an actual problem, because now you have to deal with every other enemy type and this guy who's an asshole. So like, they need to, specifically for that enemy, remove his shield and remove the dog, making him a very fast guy who wants to murder the Doom guy with his axe and his shotgun. I think that would be pretty much perfect. Like, make him the elite of the game, where it's like, okay, he's the dude who comes in, his whole goal is to wreck your shit. Like, make him like a gold elite, where like, he's tough, he knows he's tough, he's gonna come cause some fucking problems. Not just like, here's a guy who is invulnerable most of the time, because he also turns around on a dime, so you can't like go around him and shoot him in the back. And because he's got this dog, he's constantly like breathing down your neck, which like is fine. If he's doing, like, if he is actively attacking me, that's fine. If he has something that he can summon indefinitely, like constantly, and it doesn't cost him anything, then he's just like wasting ammo effectively, right? So he's not actually like, for in a game sense, he's just like a waste of your powers. Like, the summoner enemy, who is also bullshit, is better than him because the summoner enemy shield can be downed. His like, the summoner will run away from you because he knows his place in the combat, and like his summons are killable and not instantaneous. If you stagger the summoner, he stops summoning. So like that part is good. He just has too much HP, so like it's annoying to chase him down. Also, he shouldn't give the enemies buffs. There should be an enemy that gives enemies buffs. That would be better. Specifically, probably like one of the weaker enemies. That would be good. Like one of the pinatas, switch one of those into something that gives enemies buffs. Like especially if you have like a bunch of them together, like they give like little buffs. So then you're just like hacking your way through the enemies to get to this group of like preachers or whatever that are causing troubles. As for the hacking, the sword, or all of the weapons with limited ammo in a game that's all about constantly getting your ammo back, those shouldn't exist. Those should be either cooldown based and or based on like your like the chainsaw, like getting more ammo back, including the chainsaw. The chainsaw should probably there shouldn't be a chainsaw and a sword. There should just be one. And then the chainsaw or the sword, doesn't matter. They could be skins of each other, it doesn't matter. Should be like that first level to kill like basic enemies should be, probably recharge a little faster. But then it should keep charging to like fill the space of like the blood punch. So then you get to the point where you can use that on the bigger enemies, and then make it so that like, you know, maybe certain enemies use certain amounts. So like so you can't just run up to the Baron, which is the big demon dude with like the rocket arm, I believe. You can't just run up to him and murder him in one shot, right? Like that's not cool, but like make it so that like any of the medium demons only take 2 pips and the other one takes 3, and then all of that is gated by murdering of some sort. So like maybe you make it so like when you take armor off of enemies, you get more of this stat, or when you kill like a bunch of dudes or something like that. So then you're constantly generating this, like, I can just keep murdering. I'm not waiting for a cooldown. I'm murdering my way through all these guys. Something like that would be good to like keep that triangle, because the triangle can work. The triangle of armor, health, and ammo. I think there should be probably some overlap between each one. So like ones that are the thing that gives you health also gives you ammo. The thing that gives you ammo also gives you armor. The thing that gives you armor also gives you health, or some other mix of that. So then you're getting a little bit of everything, because there were a few times where I was just like wandering around. I need to find a guy. I need to kill one guy for health. I need to kill another guy for ammo, and they don't come together. So I guess, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. So like, you know, putting them a little bit together, also making it so that the blood punch doesn't go off, and then not give you very much health would be great. Because like I was trying to like get lots of health from a couple of the pinatas, but then I just blood punched them and got not as much, or it seemed like not as much. What else? Boss fights were just kind of boring. Story didn't make any sense. It might have made more sense with the if I read all the material that came with it. All of the fucking lore pickups someone should have read them. Just pick someone in the office who can read. Put like a fucking voice modulator so he's a demon or whatever, and just have him read it. Especially since you have to do all these jumping puzzles. Because then you could totally just have it where like, okay, when you're not in combat, you can click one of these, and it will read the whole thing. If you get into combat, it will duck out the audio, duck the audio back in after you're done. Like basically just pause the audio. And then just start talking when you're done. Or like any of the times that you're like wandering around the map, you can just listen to the lore rather than having to basically stop the game and go read lore, because that's no fun. Basically, this game is just no fun. It seems like they wanted to go further, but they didn't have anyone on the team or anyone in the management that was like, hold up, what is fun about Doom 2016? What did the community like? The community liked that it was smooth. The community liked that the Doomslayer was sassy. The community liked that it was very metal. So what they did is they said, hey, I'm not gonna listen to all this. What if we just made it like, what if we made it more metal, but like, was trying too hard? And what if we made the Doomslayer have like, he's sassy for like 2 scenes and that's it. You know, all the other time he doesn't have any personality at all. Also, why did it take me out into cutscenes for a lot of that stuff too? Like, why did it give me third person? Like, defeating the final boss, like, it should be, hey, what should have happened is, hey, it falls over, all the other enemies die, a, like, sword thing appears in front of him, you go up, you pull the sword out, and you have to push the button. And then it doesn't zoom out. It just plays what the Doomslayer is seeing. So he sees, all right, sword. And then you push E, and then it does the put the sword in the brain. And then break, like, maybe even just, like, have another, like, E button to, like, break the sword off. All while, like, ramping the music up. Like, did they not play Metal Gear Rising? Like, I think a lot of the things that this game doesn't operate under rule of cool. It operates under rule of mechanics. And if in that case the underlying mechanics are boring, hard, or bad, then the whole thing sucks. Whereas if you operate under the rule of cool and like a mechanic breaks or a mechanic doesn't hit, you forget because you're running on missiles or some dumb shit, right? Like, the last battle in Metal Gear Rising, I was terrible at, first of all. Second of all, like, it didn't feel good, but everything around it felt awesome. So, I don't, like, until just now, I completely forgot that final battle sucked. Like, it just wiped it from my brain. So, you can get a lot of, like, you can get a lot of, like, actual, like, feeling from the community, and, like, you can make a game feel better by letting the player's imagination actually soar and letting the game, the things that are cool happening in the game, continue to be cool. And this game just failed at all of those things. Doomslayer's not cool. He's basically just being led around by not Cortana. Like, the enemies are annoying at best and infuriating at worst. The weapons, there are too many. They share weapon types, so you can't just, like, you can't get good with a bunch of them because you're using half your weapons. They kind of have too many options. You never change what you pick which one you like, and very infrequently do you change it. Like, technically, the sniper attachment is better at the end of the game because there's those angel dudes that you headshot. But like, the rocket attachment's just better in every other case. So why ever have the other attachment on? Or like the auto for the shotgun. Cool, but a grenade is always going to be better because it has area of effect. I feel like they would have done way better if they had done like, here is 4 weapons, right? Like, we combine the super shotgun and the normal shotgun together. Here is a cool shotgun. Here is an assault rifle. Here is an energy gun. Here is a heavy weapon. And then if you had your type switches on those, you're going to 8 weapons, which is still a lot of weapons to manage, but you only have 4 ammo types to manage, and you already have them in your hands. So you might actually be interested in swapping. Also make the swapping way faster. Like, don't fuck around about it. Make basically all the Doom guys animations could be twice as fast, and it'd be way better. Especially since there's an upgrade system. Put that on your upgrades, like the grenade upgrades. I never use the ice grenades because straight up, 2 grenades is better than 1. Simple math. So 2 grenades is better than 1. It takes a long time for those to recharge in combat. So like, why would I ever pick the ice grenade? And totally, the grenade recharging could also be part of getting more ammo. Like, it could charge normally, and then like you get more ammo, and like if you have too much ammo, it just goes into your grenade slot or something like that. Like, there were a lot of times that I would kill somebody with a chainsaw and there'd just be ammo all over the ground, and I'm not using that, so it's just like a wasted chainsaw. We could totally be using that excess ammo for more health, more armor, more chainsaw, more anything than just like, I just threw it on the ground and now there's just a bunch of glowy shit all over the floor, which doesn't look like the rest of the game. So now you've just got your art, your wonderful like art of the world, when you weren't jumping between bullshit places, was just broken up by all these like random pieces of garbage confetti, emissive confetti on the ground. So like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? I think that's really the thing that I'm going to say about this. I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. I'm going to finish the game, and then we're going to actually go into this talkie portion. Because now it's 50 minutes in. I'm still kind of angry. You can tell my heart rate is bumping. But for today, I'm Civvie. And I hope Microsoft can give them some Bungie people or something like that to be like, just don't screw it up next time. I'll see you guys next time.